Hi, these comments are for CC. I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of the lessons at OTCOnlineTOEFLCourse.com, and you are doing it is my free writing evaluation service. And I'm going to give you an estimate score right now based on what you wrote, right? So let's go over to the rubrics here. Yeah, I think overall you got a good sense of how to organize your ideas. And I'm going to give you a 3.75 out of 5. I think you can develop the ideas a little bit more. The 3 says addresses a topic and task using somewhat developed explanations, examples, and or details. Displays unity, progression, and coherence, though connection of ideas may be occasionally obscured. So you're in this area, right? To get in the 4, you have generally well-developed and well-organized, using appropriate and sufficient explanations, examples, and or details. Let's look at the 5 here. Well-organized and well-developed, right? So I'm going to show you just by looking at one paragraph, I'm going to show you how you can really dramatically improve the development of your paragraph. So overall, you wrote not that much. Let me look at it again. You wrote 277 words. So I'm going to recommend, the good thing is you're organized and you have pretty good control of your language use, but I doubt, and just to be safe here, I'm going to put you at 3.5, 22 points out of 30. Okay, so let's do some error correction in one paragraph. I'm going to show you how to develop the body paragraph a little bit more. Those are the 2 main things I'm going to show you in this video. So you say learning is an important aspect everybody faces during life. Learning depends on. So learning, that's not good syntactic variety. What if you did this? What if you make the first sentence in a positive and do that? How easy is that? Just say learning, an important aspect that everybody faces during life, depends a lot on the methods teachers use to show and give information to students. These teachers may work a lot for their students. You want to put a comma here. Or they may have a passion for what they do. I think it's probably better because you already have or and then you're trying to use but. You have the danger of what's called over-subordination. So if you just put this, maybe put none. Nonetheless, these educators do not have a high, not height. You want to say high salary or their salary doesn't justify. You want to use the base form of the verb after do. Their salary doesn't justify their efforts. How about use something like this? Indeed, it would be a great practice to pay teachers based on their students' performance. I'm going to put a possessive apostrophe there to show possession for that noun, because it would motivate them to increase their devotion and would please those who are hardworking professors. You got it. So the good thing is you understand the concept of a thesis, right? So let's look at this paragraph. And it says, first, paying teachers based on their students' performance would motivate them to work more with their students. So that's kind of a general idea, but the good thing is it's a topic sentence and it's also an argument. Right? There are a lot of teachers today who have teaching profession as a second job because it doesn't fulfill their economic needs. Still, that's kind of general. Why are we doing this? If the first statement is general, right, which is your topic sentence and it's arguable, then you want to have more specific sentences after that. You say if teachers get paid based on how much the students learn, they'll work more with them and their teaching priorities will increase. They will not need to work a second job. As a result, they will have more time to focus on their students' progress. So the more I read, the more grammar errors I'm seeing too. So that's another reason I'm going to keep this score at 3.5 out of 5, 22 points out of 30. But the problem is there's just not a lot of detail here. There really isn't. And it's only 84 words. So let me show you what you can do to really develop that. Okay, I want you to compare what you wrote with this, what I just pasted here. Okay, so let's take this topic sentence, which is perfect. And I'm going to put it here. I want you to see the difference. So I'm going to focus on the example of a physics professor, right? It says, notice how right after that topic sentence I use a word like, for example, for instance, to illustrate. So firstly, paying teachers based on their students' performance would motivate them to work more with their students. To illustrate, a physics professor has a difficult job explaining his course materials. If this educator is based on how much his students learn, he will be motivated to teach more effectively. Therefore, if his lectures, how about this? Let's make it okay, let's say this. This gets a little bit more specific. If his lectures on magnetism are not helping his students grasp the student learning outcomes in his course, the professor may change how he is teaching his class. Instead of only lecturing, the professor may decide to do more group and class discussion. In addition, motivated to improve his teaching by pay, the professor may develop some online tutorial labs, all of which simplify his instruction. As a result of how the professor is teaching his course, the students will be able to learn his course concepts more easily. This improved learning would not have occurred had the professor not been financially motivated to change his teaching style. So now what we did is, instead of 84 words, we have 160. And instead of just talking about teaching generally, we focus the example more around a physics professor who is trying to deliver his lectures on magnetism more effectively to his students. So that's the idea I want to get to you right now, is try in the body paragraph after you have the topic sentence, right? Try to get an example in there and then really try to develop and explain that idea. That's going to show a lot more depth to your ideas. And then when you look at the 5, we can say it's well organized and well developed using clearly appropriate explanations, exemplifications, and or details. We can't really say that about your writing right now, right? And you have a lot of grammatical errors. So those are my comments based on what you wrote. And I hope this kind of gives you an idea of what you can do to improve your writing. Now, if you're interested, if you go back to onlinetoeflcourse.com, I really think I can help you. Remember that writing is a recursive process. Even though I've told you how you can develop your writing in more detail, that doesn't mean you can do that. You now need to practice, right? You need to do may 8 or 9 or even 10 writing practice tests before I think you really will have mastered this part of your writing. So consider joining my TOEFL Writing Bootcamp course. It's not that expensive. But Michael, it's $130. Yeah, but how much does a writing course cost at the university? It costs $3,000 or $4,000, right? And I teach at Cal State University. I'm going to give you a lot of the same instruction I teach my students in my academic writing classes. I guarantee you, as you go through my online writing course, my TOEFL Writing Bootcamp course, you will be able to improve the depth, the progression of ideas in your writing. You can also improve your grammar, and you can really get much better in your writing, right? So just go over to onlinetoeflcourse.com. Just scroll down until you see my different courses, and then click on the TOEFL Writing Bootcamp course to enroll. And thank you for completing this practice test.